It's been a few days since we said bye to the others in Nasha Town. Still no news about Rare. If only he was gone for good.
Hello! You must be the traveler in Paimon? Mr. Flynn has been looking for you. Unfortunately.
A wild hunt? Oh, uh-oh! Come on, let's go!
I can barely sense any Kuvaki at all. This...
Looks like his appetite truly is insatiable. As if the power of that energy cannon wasn't enough.
He's not seriously still getting stronger? What's his endgame here?
Everyone's here already. Hey, we made it!
We've all been on high alert since we split up a few days back, expecting Rerir to strike again. But it's like he just vanished into thin air. No one has seen him nor found any trace of his presence. That is, until this morning, when a ratnik found signs of wild hunt activity while out here on patrol. As you can see, the crystalline itself is physically intact, but the Kuvaki it contained is all but completely diminished.
And we're sure that Rare did this. Who else? He's the only one who could pull off a stunt like this.
Kuvaki loss has reached critical levels. Reiki of Solnari set to maximum threat level. Warning, unless de-escalation measures are taken soon, he will post—
Traveler, there wasn't a shred of sanity left. Nothing but madness and—
Yeah, didn't he shout out a bunch of names? Oh, Paimon gets chills just thinking about it. Oh, but the thought that he's still out there, lurking somewhere in Not Cry?
Last time we fought, we were already at a disadvantage. If he has such overwhelming strength, why would he suddenly go into hiding?
Yeah, if I were him and I wanted more Kuvaki, I'd just take it by force. Unless something went wrong.
The other thing is, how does someone who's completely lost their mind still have the wherewithal to cover their tracks so perfectly?
Beats me.
According to certain medical studies, insanity does not always entail a complete loss of rationale.
That actually sounds about right.
There are many unanswered questions here. Besides his name and title, we know
Exactly. And I'd be willing to bet that even if we gathered together every scrap of intel in Nodcry, we still wouldn't find more than, like, 3 useful facts about it.
So, if we do nothing, last time we had Marionette and her big robo-buddy to help us, and we still barely held our ground. If we had to face him alone, Paimon's head hurts just...
Well, I do have a little hunch about his next move. Somewhere like the Eye of Krati, or the Pillar of Embla.
A perfectly reasonable hypothesis.
I agree, we should split up.
Wait, why he see I...
If I recall correctly, your largest goddess statue...
That's right. Yes, it...
Splitting up's always gonna be risky. But... And if we do...
That's when you follow the 3rd rule of treasure hunting. Run like the wind.
Didn't you say...
I don't know.
Agreed. If anyone finds so much as a trace of...
All right, we'd better get moving. Come on, Anetha, let's go.
Any leads?
Nope. Diddly squat. It feels like we're sitting on a powder keg that could go off at any second. Oh, I hate this feeling.
So, you guys didn't find anything either?
Not loving the word either.
I questioned a few Ratniki and eventually narrowed my investigation down to one suspicious individual, almost as if he knew someone was on to him. Either that...
He's been biding his time for a while now.
No idea.
All we can do now is hope that Wait, he's actually here? I didn't
No, it's coming from Silver Moon Hall. The Lady Kutar might be in danger.
Let's get over there, quick! Why is he attacking the damsel elect? What's going on?
No time for questions. Stop him!
This is insane.
Yehuda, get Kutar out of here!
On it.
Look where your feeble light has gotten you. Now you shall plunge into darkness. Felindus, soon I will find a way.
Watch out!
barely made it out of there alive. What's that guy's deal? How'd he get so crazy strong?
He's a threat to this entire nation. I doubt his strength could even be measured by conventional...
I When me and Anefa showed up, we saw him chasing after this lady like he wanted her dead. What was that all about? We weren't there for the whole thing either.
Yeah, we didn't see how it all started.
Kutar, can you shed any...
Kutar. Cross-checking database. I see. So you're the one that the Frost Moon Scions refer to as the Moon Goddess?
Wait, she's the moon goddess? Oh, no wonder she looks...
There are many reasons why people might worship the moon. I've never met that person before. But there was no mistaking his deep-seated hostility towards me. Why he holds me in such contempt, I cannot say. But since he hunts the power of the moon...
Kutar.
There are many potential motives. For instance, you help the traveler escape his grasp. It is also possible that he covets the Kuvaki inside you, and seeks... But, right now, devising a counter-strategy should be our #1 priority.
A counter-strategy? We don't stand a chance against an enemy like this. Surely our only option is to run. He's not gonna chase us to the end of the world, right? So as long as we can sneak out of Nodcry undetected... No, I can't say that. Come on, Yehoda. This is serious.
Running is our...
Huh?
You seem surprised. But what other...
Well, I mean, yeah.
It's not too late. I can distract him, so you have plenty of time to make your escape.
Wait, what?
Doesn't that make sense? A coyote doesn't stop for bypassers while it's What is it like? The Frost Moon Scions have already grown accustomed to life without their goddess.
We can't just roll over and let him get away with this. That's not our style.
Yeah. We can't just call it quits after everything we've been through together. Besides, she pretty much saved my life back there. If I just ditched her now, I'd never forgive myself.
We can't overlook that you have saved our lives multiple times now. To talk of returning the favor would be a little crass for my liking.
Rira's true objective remains unclear. Even if we were to sacrifice Miss Kutar, there's no guarantee he would stop.
But...
Kutar, I know why you left the Frost Moon Scions so long ago. They would make self-centered wishes. For if it were me, I might have walked away too. But I believe that time can change everything. After much reflection, I've realized that this was never about whether the Frost Moon Scions need you. Any relationship based on need is purely transactional. What I truly hope is that you'll choose to stay, not out of obligation, but as part of our family. You were born here, and now you've returned. Who knows? Perhaps it was the moonlight that guided you home.
Thank you, Lauma. But my power is on the wane. I'm afraid I will be of little use to you now. Very well then.
Both times you saved us, we were transported across great distances.
It is. But I find it very draining. Rejected by the world. My power is dwindling.
What do you mean, reject?
The 3 moons belong to the ancient bygone era in which they came into being. The 3 moons are not one and the same. As the goddess of the frost, yet moonlight has a way of blending together. But this method of recovery is painfully slow.
It's the Wild Hunt!
Even faster than we expected. We'll have to...
See how those Wild Hunt creatures are running away from us. They're likely just a scouting.
Then what are we waiting for?
Protect us.
No flaw!
The long sleep beckons.
They just keep coming! This is driving me nuts!
The rear's closing in on. We need to pick up the pace.
There's too many of them! And this time, we can't fall back on Kutar's house to escape! If this goes on much longer...
Beware the creatures of the night.
Ding dong water bomb!
Preparing for
frostmen of old, leave this place.
Be silent. The long sleep buckets. Close your eyes.
Look, your rainbow!
Ultimatum protocol. Defensive mode engaged.
For the everlasting place, you poor lost lamb.
Observe.
Kingdom Wonderful!
Annihilation mode.
With one heart and flame.
Beware the creatures of the night. Be silent.
Preparing for gusto.
For the everlasting place.
What's the matter? Bit off more than you could chew?
How are you? Uncle Varka! You're back from Amsvartnir? Oh, you're Varka? Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius?
We could save the intros for later. Right now, let's get you all out of this hellhole. Follow me. I know somewhere you'll be safe.
Oh, is that where...
That's the one. Come on, move! There's no time to waste.
Wow! Where are we? This is so well hidden.
Well, that goes without saying. This is the Knights of Favonius' meeting place in Nodcry, and a contact hub for the Northern Intelligence Network, aka the Black Market of Intel. No matter what faction you're with, it's the place to buy and sell information. Their headquarters are in Nodcry, but they've got contacts in every nation. As an expeditionary force on foreign soil, working with them has offered us the most effective way of getting our hands on reliable local intel. Anyway, where were we? Folks from Nodcry should be pretty familiar with me by now. But I believe this is the first time we've met. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Varka, Knight of Boreas, and Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius.
We've heard all about you. This meeting's been a long time coming. You look way younger than Paimon expected.
Well, I'm no spring chicken. Just not showing my age yet. Definitely feeling some of that back pain today, though. Rushed back from Amsvartnir without a wink of sleep, only to get right into another fight with that freshly revived maniac.
Another? You mean you fought him before?
Yep. He wasn't nearly as strong back then, but he was still a formidable foe. I brought some of the knights along to give him a little surprise, but he saw us coming from a mile off. My squad took heavy injuries, and I barely made it out alive myself. We knew it might have been our last chance, so we staked everything on it. But still, it wasn't enough to stop him. I tried tracking him down afterwards, but he didn't leave a trace. Even in his unhinged mental state, he's as cautious as any trained operative. So, I decided to come find you. And as luck would have it, turned up to find you being ambushed by the Wild Hunt.
Is that why he's been frantically absorbing Kuvaki these past few days?
Maybe I'm part of the equation, but even if I weren't, I'm sure he'd still be gathering power.
Note to self, Uncle Varka's strength rating officially...
Guess it's my turn to ask questions now. So, what exactly has been happening in Nodcry?
That's a long story, but I'll try to make it quick.
Wow, I had no idea so much had happened. Sounds like you guys have really been through it. So, the Kutar is actually a Fatui Harbinger. And all this wild hunt activity in Nodcry is the work of the Raker of Solnari, one of the 5 sinners. That's a lot to take in. Need some time to wrap my head around.
I'm truly sorry, Mr. Varka. You stood with us against the Wild Hunt, and did everything you could to stop it from escalating into a full-blown catastrophe.
You've got nothing to apologize for, Miss Moonchanter. You can plan 100 steps ahead and still slip up. That's just life. And, to be perfectly honest, I can't say I'm surprised. For all the times we've defeated the Wild Hunt in the past, we've never been able to completely wipe it out. But now that a new variable has come into play, fate may well take a different course.
A new variable? You mean...
Who else? And in a strange way, I think his resurgence might not be an entirely bad thing. The Wild Hunt is like an unrelenting force of nature. That said, while I know I was explaining everything just now, some of the points that Mr. Flint's added caught my attention.
You mean about our mystery ally?
That's right. From what you've said, not only did they lead you straight to some key files, they also shielded Hisi Island from a lethal coup. I don't know who or what could pull something like that off.
I hadn't heard the story about those files. Would you mind repeating their titles for me?
Wild Hunt Phenomena Log, a Nodcryan Ratnik's Field Journal, and...
Oh.
Another dead end. Guess all we can do now is hope that our mystery ally keeps showing up. Well, still, it's safest to assume they won't be intervening again. Your intel also explains something else I've been wondering about. The reason I led my team to Amsfarnir was because we'd had reports about a possible... But once we looked into it, it turned out to be a red herring. I doubt it's by chance that he happened to make his comeback while my attention was diverted. And from everything you told me, it sounds like his scheming began well before his return. But is it even possible that he orchestrated the Moon Maiden and the Raker of Solnari? Nodcry of all places. The way everything is unfolding, it can't be a coincidence.
So, what do we do now?
Right now, we've got at least 3 things to consider. Let's go through them one by one. First, we need to figure out how to take down Rerir. To my knowledge, the bulk of Nodcry's fighting force is already gathered here.
What if there was a way to tap into...
How so?
Have you thought of something, Columbina?
3 moons once watched over this world. The Eternal Moon was the largest. The Frost Moon, they say that back then, the 3 moon goddesses wielded immense power. I now bear the Frost Moon's power. And the Eternal...
Hold on. Are you suggesting...
The iridescent moon.
That's right. If we...
The 3 moons are said to stir the tide.
According to my analysis, this solution is feasible. How...
I know a way, but...
The Experimental Design Bureau?
Yes.
It's a long way from here to the Experimental Design Bureau. There's a high chance you'll be spotted.
Then that's settled. Next up, our second priority. Somehow, we need to figure out Rerir's end goal. As you saw for yourselves, when he was still in his Wild Hunt form, everything he did was for the sake of recovering his body and resurrecting himself. People's obsessions often reveal their greatest vulnerabilities. There must be a reason why he despises the moon so deeply. The Wild Hunt has plagued Nodcry for centuries now. If we want to stop it for good, we have...
It's true. We still know very little about him. If Kuthar hadn't given us that lead, we wouldn't even know his name.
But where would we even start? I doubt even the Intel Queen of Nodcry has a clue. And she has info coming out of her ear.
Oh? That's a rather hasty conclusion for someone who's so painstakingly meticulous when it comes to dealing with machines.
Ah! She hurt me!
Boss! What are you doing here?
I'm now asking myself the same question. I received a letter from a humble knight of Favonius, requesting a meeting to discuss a major business deal.
Details. Miss Neffer, the important thing is that you've arrived at the perfect time. Since his failed ambush, I've been racking my brains trying to come up with a plan to fight Rerir. We can't do this without the Curatorium. But I knew it'd be a tough job to win you over.
Wait a sec. How did you even hear? Didn't you say this is meant to be the Knights of Favonius' meeting spot? And a contact hub for the North?
You really think he could have gotten settled in Nodcry without my help? Besides, I'm the one running this gig. Of course I know where the meeting place is.
Allow me to introduce the current head of the Northern Intelligence Network. If it's intel you're after, she's your woman. Pretty much seen and heard it all.
Please spare me the flattery. Let's cut to the chase. Seems like you've run into some trouble, huh? Well, this certainly qualifies as an unforeseen crisis.
So you're just going to say...
Why should I get involved?
What if we told you?
Oh? Then I'd say, you'd better make it worth my while.
I can't put a price on something like this. It's just not in my nature. But then again, you and I have always been polar opposites in this. If you insist on compensation, I will pay you.
You just don't give up, do you? Too bad. I know you well enough to know you can't afford my prices. The riskier the job, the more it'll cost. And a moon chanter's stipend isn't exactly generous. Unless you're planning to start passing the donation box around among the faithful.
Boss, just a thought. If they come up short, maybe you can take the difference out of my next few paychecks. Things got really dangerous during the fight with Rerir. If this girl hadn't saved me, I'd be ley line fodder by... If there's any way we can make this work...
This is why I'm always telling you never accept favors. They are the hardest debts to repay. You have to be careful who you get involved with, or you invite all kinds of misfortune. Very well, Yehoda, I will help. But just this once. Don't count on this happening again. Flynn's. That fragment that Rerir was after.
Of course.
Let me borrow it. I need it.
Wait, you actually have some...
Shh. This is top secret information.
I get it. We all have things we'd rather keep to ourselves. And that brings me to the third and final item. We need to... I'm in for this part, no matter what. Anyone coming with...
Count me in.
Come off it, you two. Quit. I'm way ahead of you here. Nefa did a scan of the Moon Goddess's Kuvaki signature, and we're gonna use it to make some decoys over at the Kramkake craft shop. Once they're ready, we'll deploy the decoys across Nogcry. So as long as the rest of you keep moving, he won't catch on to your scent.
I like it.
No biggie.
All right then. We'll split into 3 teams. Once your team has finished their mission, return here and wait for the others. Dismissed.
Lady Damselette. Wait. And you two? We've been doing our best to mind our own business lately.
Huh. You really think that's...
We're not looking for any trouble. I just want to see Zandrone.
Do I need to remind you, out of consideration for our former ties?
Let them in.
But...
Are you going to make me repeat that?
No, my lady.
Zandrone seems to be in a good mood. Must be maintenance day.
So tell me, to what do I owe the honor this time? Actually, before you answer that, just so we're clear...
I promise it's nothing big.
It seems like you've gotten the wrong idea here. The only reason I let you in was because I was bored. It seemed like a way to kill some time and satisfy my own curiosity. Whatever miscalculations I may or may not have made in the past, I haven't lost the plot enough to even consider sticking my neck out for your sakes.
I'd like to speak with Arlecchino.
What?
Huh? You mean the knave?
I'd like to speak with Arlecchino. Is she in Nodcry?
No, she's not. Once the work on this facility was completed, she went back with the Rooster and Regrator. The only ones in Nodcry are me and... what is it you need to speak to her at?
Rerir is hunting me. If I'm going to face him, I must first... Is that a no, then?
As if I need reminding. I was this close to settling things with him. But
Have you held any tea parties lately?
tea parties? Yeah, obviously. You don't seriously think we'd pack it all in just because you aren't here. If anything, they've been more eventful than ever. Just me, Arlecchino, and a bunch of insolent and sensitive guests who won't stop asking where you've gone. Oh, they've been a real
I bet you served them the worst tea you have. Just like you used to do to me when I upset you.
Who cares about how good the tea is when there's no one around to drink? First Rosaline, now you? I'm running out of people who can make me laugh. Honestly, what could be more ridiculous than the multi-centenarian goddess, who's only ever had the plain herbal tea she received as offering?
You'd always brew a different type of tea for me each time. Was it really just to see how I'd react?
Well, duh. Why else? Watching you squirm was practically my only form of entertainment. Oh, yeah. And Capitano sometimes used to bring Tartaglia around, too. Well, I guess we are overdue for a get-together. Polonia, have Favronia pass a message to Arlecchino for me. It's time for tea. Will suffice.
Pass along a message for me, too, if you...
Excuse me? Who said you were on the guest list? If my tea meant that much back when you were under the Tsaritsa's protection, no one would...
But that protection didn't come for free. In fact, I paid dearly for it. At the end of the day, it was just another transaction. I just got tired, that's all. I never wanted any part in their grand ambitions, and I've had enough of being treated like a bottomless supply of power. It brings back memories from the old days, when I was still worshipped as the moon goddess. Centuries on, it may be a different group of people, but I see the same greed in their eyes.
I figured you'd leave eventually. You didn't have as much of a reason to stay as I do. The Tsaritsa gave you shelter and protection, but that was it. Nothing more, nothing less. I get why you left. And frankly, I have no interest in dragging you back just because the higher-ups told me to. But if you keep hanging around with this riffraff, the next time we cross paths, we might be enemies for... that might be your plan. But it sounds like someone else wants you to stay a little... Huh? See for yourselves.
My lady, it's the Wild Hunt. A horde of monsters is headed straight for the facility.
Another uninvited guest trying to crash my tea party. Clear the area. I'll handle this. Wait, what? You want us to leave you here by yourself? You'll be lucky to make it out of this alive. You really think you can afford to worry about me? Go on, get out of here. You may have stopped Polonia from crushing him last time, but I've made sure that won't happen again. The entire Experimental Design Bureau is rigged for war. Stay and watch if you want, but it'll be at your own risk. You're not flagged as friendlies in a weapon system. Don't tell me what to do! Look, if you're leaving, make it quick, or you'll just get in my way. There's a secret passage on the second floor. It'll take you right to the plains out back. Stare all you want, Columbina. You're not getting another invitation to my tea party.
I know. But thank you anyway, Sandrone.
This is exactly why you shouldn't hang around with those people. Come on then, Mr. Ray here. Let's pick up where we left off. It's your Wild Hunt monstrosities versus my beautiful creations. Let's see who comes out on top. Polonia, get him!
I've upgraded Polonia again since our last encounter, and uploaded every last scrap of your data. So let's finish this, once and for...
She's not here. Where did she go? moon. Go. Keep searching. She cannot have gotten far.
So this is your method for investigating Rarir's past?
Good deduction. But it's quite a different affair from what you're used to with the Frost Moon Scion.
Whoa! First time I've ever been in here. Boss always said it was off limits, so I picked... Oh, I guess this must be Sumero decor? That's where Boss is from.
I'm not sure exactly what you've got planned, but
Whenever we wish. But for some reason, I've got a feeling this isn't going to end well. I've never faced Rarir myself, but from what you've told me, his power is beyond anything I could imagine. I, on the other hand, am just an ordinary businesswoman. Our paths should never have crossed, yet here I am, forced to make an enemy of him.
If you ask me, you're about as far from ordinary as it gets.
Once I take a job, there's no backing out. Still, I have to ask myself if the power I'm relying on will even work on an opponent of this caliber, and also how to make sure I come out of this alive if death is the one thing we can take for granted.
Come on, boss. Lighten up. Quit talking about death. It's bad luck.
For once, I agree with you. When you're up against a foe like Rarir, there's no such thing as being too prepared. Is there anything I can do to help?
That won't be necessary. I've already made up my mind. Time to cash in a precious favor I've been saving for a rainy day. Yehoda, I need you to find someone for me. The sooner the better. That shady merchant who sold you an overpriced treasure
Come on, boss. You're Anyway, I know who you're talking about. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Quit grabbing me. I genuinely can't run any further.
Hey, aren't you...
What is it? What's the big rush? You dragged me out of a dream where I was literally swimming in Mora. I'm charging double my usual attendance fee. See, look how easygoing she is. After that rude awakening, she could have completely...
Dori Sangama Bay? I never would have pictured you two doing business together.
If you want to make it big in Nodcry, it's all about connections. Lady Nefer just so happens to have a lot of intel that interests me. And she also did me a big favor in the past. It was back when I first arrived in Nodcry. My trusty assistant, the genie in my lamp. And wouldn't you know it, that's when I suddenly find myself in a life or death. I've been giving her a 30% discount off all of my goods ever since. Now, so that, plus any other friends you send my way, will enjoy 10% off. What can I say? The great Lord Sangama Bay is nothing if not generous. So, let me guess. You've run into some trouble?
You guessed correctly. What have you got in the way of survival gear?
The one type of gear I've never been short on. What are you looking for? At the very least, I need to know what...
What if I told you it's someone with the power to bring a nation to its knees?
Is that so? Then you really are
You're...
a powerful woman, make no mistake. I can't reveal her identity, but luckily for you, I hear she's planning to visit Nodcry if you're willing to wait, I can ask her when she's here.
Then, let me put it another way. What would you do if you encountered an enemy like that? Roll over and serve yourself up on a silk?
Of course not! I have a handy little trinket from one of my generous suppliers, which... Hold on. What exactly are you getting at? No, this is for my
Let's just say I'm borrowing it, all right? Just for insurance purposes. You'll get it back later. Favors are the worst kind of debt to owe, and now you've got a chance to repay one.
Fine. You can borrow it for 5 days. No, make that 3. And for every extra hour after that, I'm charging you 1,000,000 mora. Deal?
Deal.
What a way to start the day. Now, was there anything else you wanted? Or can I go back to bed now?
That will be all. Take care now. Don't trip up on your way back, friend.
See you later!
Excellent. Everything is well and truly ready. After initiating the ceremony, your minds will follow me wherever I go. So remember, don't be frightened, and don't make a sound. Now then, let us peer into the Raker of Solnari's past. I made it. I don't recognize this style of architecture. Simple furnishings, table and chair. Looks like the fearsome Raker of Solnari came unless this passed for luxury in Conria. Anyway.
Hi, Revere. Since you're working extra hours tonight, I thought I'd keep myself busy by checking out that new kebab shop. I'll test it out, and if it's as good... P.S. New stash from the Universitas Magistrorum. I brought some goodies home. A few teacups and a pin rack.
They didn't sign their name. But...
I went over to Joseph's for drinks today. They have a fine collection, but I went alone. Felindis was tied up with something and couldn't make it. Joseph asked why I came alone, but I didn't really have an answer. He then went on to ask about other things. But if he invites me again...
Felindis. That's the same name...
Crane imports keep falling. If things don't pick up, we'll soon be back to meat and mushrooms. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of that new type of mushroom everyone's been into lately. Didn't it start out as a lab-grown variety? I don't care if it's an impressive feat of alchemy.
Grain has to be imported, and they're eating a diet of mostly meat and mush. That would explain why they use so much stone. They even use alchemically modified strains for food.
I've just about saved up enough now. Time to buy it.
Making a big purchase. He really is a professional. Despite what he's become, it seems like he's retained certain... Did Rary rip it out himself?
Before I met you, I was convinced that my heart was nothing more than the burial place of a fallen moon. It was you who helped me see that my heart hadn't entirely withered away.
This is just trivial sentimentality from the looks of it. The burial place of a...
Revere! Over here!
Dane! Oh, and, Vedelfin here?
Hello there, Revere. You need not address me so formally outside.
He doesn't get that much free time, so I invited him over for a drink.
So, what are we discussing today?
Hey, don't look at me. As far as I see it, We don't need an excuse.
Come on, don't give us that. Didn't you say you were about to pop the big question? How's that coming along? I just didn't expect you to be the first one to settle down and get married, that's all.
Yeah. If you told me that a few years ago, I wouldn't have believed you either.
So, are you planning to come clean about your job then?
Sure, I'll have to tell her at some point. But I'll need to pick the right time and place.
Come on, stop being such a pessimist. For all you know, she could be thrilled. A member of the King's Guard. Quite the cover story.
Of course he does. Anyway, enough about me.
Me? Same old, same old. Nothing much to... Huh? What's up, Ved?
It's nothing. Vedifulnir. Dainslift's elder brother. Renowned throughout the... And yet, despite the gulf between us, he seems to have... Does he even know me? Does he see me as a friend of his brother? Or just another of the Vinster Kings? Why did he react so strongly?
Brown, curly hair and brooding blue eyes. Perfectly normal. As frightening as this monster is in the present.
Felindis? You're back early?
Our equipment's being serviced today, so I got off earlier than usual. Aw, why the long face? Is something the matter? Has your boss been giving you a hard time?
Went for a drink with Dane and the others after work.
Isn't that a good thing?
Vedifulnir showed up today, too.
Ah, Mr. Vedifulnir. Yes, I've heard of him. They say that everything he says ends up coming true.
He overheard Dainslift mention that I'd recently proposed, and seemed to have an issue with it. But when I asked...
So, you're worried? You can be such a child sometimes, Rev. We're nobodies. Why would... I'm sure someone in his position has much bigger fish to fry.
Maybe...
You worry too much, Revier. We've been together for ages now, and...
So, you do remember?
Like I said, I need some time to decide. You can't just rush into things like this.
All right. Take your time. Just don't keep me waiting forever. Nobody's. Sounds about right. Can someone whose gaze is so fixed on a far-flung future even see the present clearly? Meanwhile, every idea they come up with, every decision they make, it affects everything. The opposition tried to speak out, but nothing came of it. A man can have 1,000 reasons to carry a sword, but there are few good excuses to use it. What becomes of someone who kills on another's behalf? Can he... Felindis? It's nothing. You were right. Fate has never smiled upon. There's no reason we can't keep living happily together, cherishing the simple joys of each day as they come.
See? You just need to stay positive, Revere. I can feel your warmth, your breath. Just seeing you makes me happy in a way I can't explain. And that's something that no one could ever take away from me.
You're right, Felindis. I've just been overthinking things.
That's better. Getting caught up about things like this will only ruin our evening.
You go ahead. I just have a few things to take care of, then I'll come join you.
Even busier than the big shots, huh? Fine, I'll go get started. But don't be late.
Relax. Seriously, though, you drive a hard bargain. You're really...
Well, that goes without saying. I already told everyone I'd be coming with a dance partner. Besides, they're two completely different things.
Alright. White outfit it is.
It seems like Rerir was deliberately hiding his ties to the intelligence services. By giving the he clearly doesn't want his would-be fiancée to know about his other life. Then again, that's hardly surprising. People in the intelligence trade rarely do. Who'd have thought we were in the same line of work? Let's dig a little deeper.
Our last operation was a resounding success, and all thanks to you, Rehir of Solnari. In total, we apprehended 32 dregs of the Crimson Moon.
After all these years since the dynasty's fall.
Indeed, it cannot be denied. Yet it was destiny that the Crimson Moon should be overcome by the eclipse. Conria has no further need for a dead moon. But alas...
That's not entirely true. Much about the Crimson Moon era was worthy of remembrance. And that's exactly why they keep trying to see it. Many of its secrets remain unsolved to this day. As it happens, that's precisely the field of study my partner is devoted to.
You still haven't told her what you really do.
Where would I even start? How do you tell someone that you're one of the king's hand-picked executioners?
You didn't choose this life, any more than I did. Orphans like us don't get a say.
But I'll sure as heck be the one to pay for it. Speaking of which, we need to be more rigorous in the way we identify direct descendants of the Crimson. Someone, it seems, has strong opinions about my future plans. Most likely my marriage in particular.
Your concerns are not unfounded. They've taken out many of our colleagues these past few years, and for that very reason. Take care, Rehir of Solnari.
Thanks, Thorkel. Thelindis, I never wanted to keep this from you. You're the last person I would ever want to lie to, but that's exactly why I can't tell you everything. There are things you shouldn't know. The moonlit dynasties are a thing of the past. Yet even now, with the sun shining high in the sky, there are those who would call forth a dead moon's ghost. Could that be why Vedalfnir held back? Or was it because of some court secret he's not at liberty to share? I have to get a clear answer from him. No matter what happens, I will protect Thelindis.
Rerir seems to be very concerned by Vedalfnir and Dainsleif. I've investigated this whole area now. Should I try somewhere else? Wait a second. What's the...
So, he's late after all. Just you wait, Rerir.
Are you waiting for someone, ma'am? Could I tempt you?
Oh, sure.
Thank you. But,
For someone so young, you sure have a way with words.
I'm only telling the truth. Look me in the eyes. You'll see I'm not lying. May we have a word in private?
Who are you?
And it doesn't matter who I am. Too many of our kind have fallen lately. Not long ago, the Rehir of Solnari led an assault on one of our strongholds. We suffered many casualties.
Sorry, I don't know why...
Wait, hear me out. His name is Rerir, and he...
What did he...
A cruel irony, isn't it? The man you're set to marry leads a double life as a brutal execution.
Why are you...
Simple.
How strange. Rerir couldn't possibly know. Why would her memories appear? The ceremony won't last much longer.
So that was your doing? Did you just pull us inside Rerir's fragment to spy?
Any more questions, and I'll have to start charging.
I had no idea you could do that, boss! Seriously, that was amazing! We're not worthy. We're not worthy! I gotta admit, though, I'm itching to see what happens next.
I'm just as curious as you are. But the ceremony only Luckily, we managed to learn quite a...
So far, so good. Especially the group with the Traveler. Their mission is a risky one.
If you're worried about them, go...
If I know Boss, she's gonna need some time to write up all the details and make sure it's...
Oh, they've been prowling around for nearly 2 days now. Oh, they might not have seen us yet, but them constantly... Oh, that's never gonna work. If they spot us, they'll run straight... Get... Quick, hide! We almost got spotted! Phew, that was a close call. Watch out! They're coming this way! Keep going. We're nearly there. This is the final hurdle. Oh, there's no end to these things!
Fire.
Fire? Wait, what's that smell? Oh no! There's a fire!
Sandrone was right. You look weak, Columbina. The old you would never have let such lowly creatures bar your way. Word has it that you did something for the Tsaritsa, and that's why you've lost most of your power. Freedom comes at a heavy price, doesn't it?
It's Arlecchino!
Hello again, Columbina. And greetings, guests of the House of the Hearth.
It's been a while, Arlecchino.
Stupid right here of stupid Solnari. Ugh! He sure doesn't pull his punches.
Excuse me, do you need a hand?
You can do me a favor by staying out of my way. Can't you see I'm busy? Wait a minute. I recognize that voice.
Hello, Miss Sandrone. Father sent us over to help.
Huh. How considerate of her. Hey, Fremine, get over here and help me fix this. Lenny, you do your thing. Just keep your sister away from my machines. Nearly every machine that Catgirl touches ends up going haywire.
Then let's start downstairs. Fremine, we'll leave this place to you.
You've got it.
Wait a second. Pretty sure there's still some tea in the cupboard. If you want some, you'll have to make it yourselves.
It's a relief to see you all made it back in one piece.
Huh? Feels like there's quite a few people missing. Where's Flint's and the others? And what about Nefer?
I returned ahead of them. Flint is helping Aino and Anefa to set up the decoys and buy us some time.
Boss is still wrapping things up on her end. She sent us back to fill...
I see. But first, who do we have here? You brought someone else in to help?
Greetings. I was invited here to help as a longtime Tea Party companion of Columbina's. You may call me Arlecchino.
Surely it can't be.
Those eyes. Oh, where have I seen them before?
The only Arlecchino I know is the fourth of the Fatui Harbingers. So either you share a pretty uncommon name, or you're more than just a Tea Party buddy.
You're well informed, Grandmaster. A man from Mondstadt living all the way out here in Nodcry, and yet the people and affairs of Snezhnaya seem to hold a special place in your heart.
Oh, the feeling's mutual. Sounds like you know all about who I am.
A Fatui Harbinger.
The atmosphere in here just got really tense. Guess we can't just start trusting Fatui Harbingers, even at a time.
I must admit, though, I'm a little curious. Seeing as the moon goddess no longer belongs to the Fatui.
Nor does Nodcry belong to Mondstadt, Mr. Varka. Yet still, you're fighting for it all the same. Things don't always have to have a tangible payoff. Sometimes, stopping things from spiraling out of control is a higher priority than chasing the spoils of victory. Of course, I can't say there's nothing in it for me at all. But that's between Columbina and myself.
Forgive me. I don't mean to doubt you. We have our own way of doing things here in Nodcry.
I know there's been a lot of bad blood between us in the past. I've done my utmost to avoid friction whenever I could. But sometimes fundamental conflicts of interest simply can't be settled amicably. That's why I'm here solely in a personal capacity. As a gesture of good faith, I'll be frank. I can help Columbina track down the iridescent moon's marrow. Anyway, what else is on the agenda? Let's begin.
She says she'll be frank, then completely skips over the details. But she clearly wants to change the subject. It'd be awkward if I tried to bring it up again now. I guess we'll just have to go along with it. She's the fourth of the Fatui Harbingers after...
Well, since Miss Arlecchino sounds confident in her ability to handle...
All right, listen up, everyone. First, we now know that Rerir was originally a Conrian secret agent whose primary mission was to hunt down and assassinate the so-called Dregs of the Crimson Moon.
The Dregs of the Crimson Moon?
Mm-hmm. In the memories, there was a lot of talk about the Crimson Moon and Eclipse, and a whole bunch of other stuff from the time of Conria.
To my knowledge, those were the names of two different Conrian dynasties. Long, long ago, it is said that the people of Conria worshipped the Crimson Moon, but one day, a coup saw the Crimson Moon eclipsed, hence the name of the new dynasty that replaced it.
Still, long after the Crimson Moon dynasty had fallen, the last ruler of the Eclipse dynasty, the Vinster King, still coveted the secrets it left behind. So, he sent the Rehir of Solnari to secretly hunt down the Crimson Moon's few remaining followers. In those days, Rerir showed no signs of madness. In fact, he was as normal as any other person. Oh, what's the matter?
Verfnir, Freindaughter, Flinders.
Interesting. Anything else? What about this would-be fiancé of his?
Well, she was a researcher at the Universitas Magistrorum, but it felt like she was hiding some kind of secret.
Oh, and one more thing. For some reason, Rerir's fragment also contained some of Thelindis' memories. though only a very small portion.
Well, no shortage of potential leads, I'll give you that. In any case, it sounds like we can conclude that while Thelindis was still around, Rerir appeared to be lucid and quite normal. Thelindis, it seems, must have been the one thing in this world that he couldn't let go of. Tell me, though, were these pure-blood Conrians we're talking about here?
Why do you need to know that? Hold on. If she was a pure-blood Conrian, oh yeah. Just like how it was with the captain.
If we could somehow find her...
It's possible. But it would take that merchant who never knows.
All right, then. Let's keep working in our separate team. Traveler, Paimon, Kutar, and Miss Arlecchino will go look for the iridescent moon's marrow. As for the others...
On the way over here, I noticed that the Wild Hunt monsters had grown even more frenzied in their search for Kutar. At this rate, the people living here will be in grave danger too. So I'm thinking
I'll head back to the curatorium and meet up with the boss.
Feels good knowing we've all got something to be getting on with. Given that the Wild Hunt has been a lot more active lately, the Lightkeepers have likely begun their own operations too. I'll hold the fort for now, then discuss our next move with Flints, Aino, and Anefa when they get back.
All right then.
Well, the clock's ticking. If that's everything, we'll be on our way.
We'd better get moving too. We'll try to buy you as much time as we can.
Relax. Just do your thing. Now, I decided to call in some backup since things are getting so hairy. Stay safe, everyone. Dismissed.
We're back. Did we get here a little early?
A tad late. The others have already set off. To summarize, our resident moon goddess has found us a new ally, and Boss Nefer has uncovered some promising info. Everything going smoothly on your...
Not great. I don't know how long we can stall them for. I'm gonna make some more later, but I need a timeout first. I'm so tired right now. Oh, right! Inefa, could you fill in Uncle Varka on what we just discussed with Flints?
Sure. Uncle Varka, you previously told us about how when you went to investigate, but according to Flints' intel, several outbreaks of the Wild Hunt had already occurred in Nodcry in the period leading up to that was before Rerir had regained his body, when he was far from regaining his full strength.
Flints, with everything that's been happening, the Lightkeepers across Nodcry are rallying to fight back against the Wild Hunt. I know, I'm sure you're capable of coming up with something far more effective than decoys. But for now, you should stay here and get some rest. And Effa and I will head back over to Amsfartnir to see if there's anything I missed.
I told you Uncle Varka would say that, didn't I? A deal's a deal. Not a word about my snack intake for the next week.
Database updated. Reliability.
What does that mean?
They were betting on how you...
It's the obvious choice, isn't it?
We already decided that Anefa should go investigate the situation over at Amsfartnir on her... Someone needs to hang back and oversee our strategy meetings. And besides, you still haven't fully recovered from ambushing Rerir.
So I've ended up with the easiest assignment.
Here, this will serve as a good spot to cross over.
Arlecchino, hold up a second. Since you brought us all this way, we still haven't got the slightest idea what's going on here. And if even Columbina doesn't know where the iridescent moon's marrow is...
Simple. Because I am an inheritor of the royal bloodline of the Crimson Moon. And one of the last surviving embers of the Two Worlds Flame.
Huh? Are you serious? Isn't... you're a descendant of that Crimson Moon dynasty we were just talking about?
Your surprise is understandable. I was also taken aback when I first learned of it. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized. When I was young, I discovered I could wield a very special kind of fire. It coursed like blood through my veins. And what's more, whenever I experienced strong bursts of emotion or drew too deeply on this power, It was like some kind of presence within the fire would begin to gnaw away at... Exactly. That is why my hands are like this, too. At first, I saw it only as a curse. But once I became a harbinger, the jester apprised me of the truth, together with my own investigations over the past few years. For instance, take the so-called Crimson Moon. In truth, it is nothing more than the shattered remnants of the iridescent moon, fused with the abyss to prolong its life. Since this blood flame was bestowed upon me by the Crimson Moon, it is a fusion of the iridescent moon's former power and the corruption of the abyss. You all understand the nature of the abyss well enough. I draw upon its power, and in return, it hungers for my soul.
If I recall correctly, you once told me that if the corruption ever made it to your heart, you'd become a...
Yes. And that's the reason I'm always careful not to push my...
Oh, sounds intense.
Anyway, the rest of my story can wait.
Paimon has a question. So, the Crimson Moon that the Karians used to worship was actually the iridescent moon, right? Which was one of the three moon sisters. Does that mean that the Karians were to the Crimson Moon as the Frost Moon Scions are to the Frost Moon?
So much of that history has been lost. We have no way of knowing exactly what they were. But I would suspect that the Conrians weren't as devout in their moon worship as it might appear. The iridescent moon's remains simply served as their link to the abyss. Later on, perhaps someone discovered a way to make direct contact with the abyss. Or maybe there was some kind of ideological divide. Either way, a dissenting faction staged a coup and drove out the royal heirs of the Crimson Moon dynasty. Still, even with the dark sun looming high overhead, the Crimson Moon's glow never truly faded. If you want living proof, it's standing right before you.
The first time we met, I sensed something familiar in your presence. When I looked at you, I felt I could see that mysterious red moon in the corner of my eye. In your flames, I saw its broken image, surrounded by a strange black aura.
Well, I appreciate that you kept it to yourself. Much about the Crimson Moon is still a mystery, and I'd prefer not to end up as the object of an insane Anyway, time is against us here, so if there's any other questions, though, I just want to make sure I've got one thing straight. In her letters, Sandrone mentioned that since you are unable to contain the iridescent moon's marrow yourself, you intend to leave it in my custody.
That's right. For now, it's the only way I can pay you back for your... The iridescent moon is already part of who you are.
Deal. Then let's get started.
Get what started?
When I first became a harbinger, the jester gave me a book called Paranhari, also known as Leobranto Innamorato. You should be able to buy a copy next time you're in Fontaine. It's a love story set in the Crimson Moon era. In the Crimson Moon era, or so the story goes, there was an orphanage that received children from beyond the bounds of this world.
Beyond the bounds of this world?
The Crimson Moon sages looked beyond this world for beings with powers that surpassed the gods. But fearing they might lose control, they subjected these children to a process of refinement. They made these children crawl up a fireplace and kept asking them, "Have you died? Did you see it?" Until they finally admitted to having died and seen a crimson moon. The adults embraced the children who passed the ritual, telling them, "Within the fireplace, you have traversed the flames between two worlds." The book leaves much unsaid. But I suspect that this was their way of branding the children they had enrolled.
That explains why I can't sense the Crimson Moon's marrow in this world. It makes sense that it would be sealed in a...
But there's no fireplace here. Do you see a chimney anywhere? Oh, are we supposed to build it ourselves?
That won't be necessary. The fireplace is purely symbolic. The key to the ritual is crossing the flames between two worlds. Those burned away by such flames leave behind a kind of ghostly afterimage in the world. In the days of Conria, People believed they could be used to bridge the gap between the two worlds of life and death. In short, I can open a passage to that space. The catch is I'll need to stay on this side to keep the passage open. Very well. Then I'll open it up.
Traveler, spare me a little more moon. Thank you. I feel like I've recovered some of my strength now.
Mistress of the seven hues of ages past, great mother of the present, crimson-clad sovereign of the two realms, by fire severed, by fire renewed, I offer myself now and beseech your descent. One word of advice. As you're crossing over, no matter what voices you hear, do not answer.
Got it! I sense a sinister gloom inside. I feel that I am about to meet an old friend who has changed beyond all recognition. Like mummified remains.
Careful! There's something spooky about this place. Paimon's right. By the way, Alambina, didn't you tell us that the iridescent moon had shattered into pieces? The moon up there looks pretty whole to Paimon. How is that possible?
Right here.
Just like I thought. It was only a facade.
Mind the side effect. A bitter pill to swallow.
Right now, right here.
Can't hide the truth.
Huh? For it?
No. It's coming from under the mountain.
Let's see. Ah! There's some kind of weird... Wait, see that? Looks like a mechanism of some... Looks like a device from the time of Kalia. Maybe people once came here to study the Crimson Moon's domain, and they left this behind. Oh, if we can activate it, we might find some clues. Hey, look at that! Now that the mechanism's running, the shadow in the water looks different. Do you think these mechanisms might be the key to unlocking the secret?
Felindis, we'll leave the rest of the research in your hands. We'll be heading back now.
I hope this isn't ruining date night.
Ugh. Mind your own business. Just leave me some snacks on the table.
Felindis? Is that Rear's girlfriend? Oh yeah. So, do you think she was studying this strange space all along?
The Abyss has made this space extremely unstable. Maybe that's why some of the things she said and did were preserved here.
Whenever I see this view, it takes me back to a poem from my waning moon. Oh, lifeless damsel, weeping on the mountain crest. Mourning still in wistful tone, her fragile soul now laid to rest. For me, of all people, to be here investigating the mysteries of the Crimson Moon space. Is it a coincidence?
The Dactylus. Surge.
No more lies.
Time to come clean.
Looks like the Abyss has messed up this mechanism. We need to find a way to get it working again. Let's see if there are any other devices nearby.
It all falls into place.
Right now, right here.
Can't hide the
See, so the moon marrow, or rather the power of the three moons, is the key to unlocking. If it really does exist, then maybe this madness can finally be put to an end.
The abyssal energy here is too strong! We better pull back for now!
the Abyss inhibitor's in place, I should be able to access the chamber with the moon marrow. Oh, Revier, with every step you take, you're drifting further from what you truly desire. But you're not the root of the problem. Ever since that outsider set foot in Conria, the Vinster King has sunken deeper into madness. If only I could get my hands on that outsider.
Hey look! The moon's reflection is back to normal! Elendis' voice mentioned a chamber with the moon marrow.
It must be. For within it, I sense the fragile aura of a dying soul.
And there's no time to lose! What? Looks like we'll have to destroy them if we want to get to the iridescent moon's marrow. That must be the iridescent moon's marrow. Oh, we'll need to destroy these things before we can reach it.
Emerge, right here, right now. Emerge.
A bitter pill to swallow.
It all falls into place. No more lies. It all falls into place.
We're so close!
Mind the side effect.
The iridescent moon's marrow, still burning away like an undying flame. If we can purify the abyssal power within, we should be able to obtain its untainted essence. It's so cold. Is it you? Are you here?
Huh? Are you talking to us?
At long last, I can see you once more. Our fates have crossed, and I am finally free. I'm sorry, I lied to you. Even knowing what was to come, I still couldn't let go of the fear in my heart. As death drew near, the moment the moon shattered, my body began to split apart piece by piece. Tell me, what was it that brought you to us all that time ago? If only I had possessed your courage. You look so puzzled. That's how I felt too when I first saw you. But trust me when I say that everything happens for a reason. Farewell, Hypo.
What was that all about? It sounded like she was speaking to a long-lost friend.
Perhaps. She took me for the goddess of the frost moon she once knew. For a fading soul like hers, Our auras must be too similar to tell apart.
But anyway, we've got the iridescent moon's marrow now. Alright, time to leave this place and meet back up with Arlecchino. Let's go! That's odd. This place looks different than when we came in.
Waning moon.
Huh?
Oh, lifeless damsel.
Oh. Hurry! The place is collapsing!
It wants to trap us here.
Who's it? The Abyss?
Now we've taken the moon marrow. All that's left here is a dark will. It will show us no mercy.
Give it back! The crimson moons! My marrow! My heart! Finally! Huh? Oh no! The exit's blocked! They're back! Now what do we do?
This is where you fall. Witness my rise. What are you waiting for?
Oh, we made it! Was that you, Arlecchino? Did you save us? Wait, your hands! They're...
Oh, this? Don't worry. It's a small price to pay. The Abyss wanted to trap you inside, and I defied its will by bringing you out. No wonder it's a little angry. No. I have paid the price, albeit a small one, and it cannot be undone. My hands have already fused with the Abyss. Purification would simply destroy whatever's left of them.
But you're... Oh, we're so sorry, Arlecchino.
As much as I'd like to call it a favor, the truth is I was simply holding up my end of the deal. Well, Columbina.
Yes, you did your part. And as promised, I will leave the iridescent moon's marrow in your care.
I'll take that as a blessing. Now, Columbina, give me your hand. Accept this moonlight I offer in return. Feeling stronger?
Hey, Columbina, are you
I'm fine.
By the Frost Moon's authority alone, wielding the power of the other moons was always going to be a stretch. Still, I think it's fair to say that your strength has returned. At least to the level it was at as Third Harbinger.
It's still not enough. There's no way I can hope to challenge Rayrear like this. Just one more ray of moonlight, if you would. It's okay. I can take it.
How about now? Fighting fit?
At the very least, I won't have to stay hidden like before. I want to see him gone from Not Cry.
Well, it's good to have something to aim for. You certainly seem more alive now than you did earlier. When I first met you, you didn't strike me as a ray of moonlight. More like a wisp of fog drifting in from who knows where. ready to scatter at the first sign of a breeze. But now, you're full of vitality, just like the frost moon, once the brightest of them all. May you keep shining, Columbina. This is who you are.
Thank you. Look after yourself too, Arlecchino. I know you have plans of your own, but whatever you're after, don't let the Abyss take a hold of you. I do not wish to see you go down the same path as Rerir.
I appreciate the concern, Columbina.
A new name?
Kutar, the Moon Maiden, Columbina. They're nothing more than code names. They describe who she is and the roles she's played, but they're not her real name. We often use code names in the House of the Hearth, too. But it's knowing your real name that keeps you grounded. All I'll say is this. Once you've defeated Rerir, give it some thought. All right, that's it from me. I'll get you back safely first, then go meet up with Sandrone.
You're the best!
I appreciate the gesture. It speaks to your good character. Anyway, let's get going. There are more urgent things to do right now than trade compliments.
It was a close call, but we got the iridescent moon's marrow and restored Columbina's strength, and that's all that matters. In other words, mission accomplished. Paimon wonders how everyone else is doing.